Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am showing you my top 10 rated recipes on YouTube. I thought it would be amazing to have one spot where you can find my top 10 recipes. Most of the recipes are made in a crock pot. I also made 2 dips in this video, as well as 1 salmon dish that gets highly requested, and that's just baked in the oven. So I hope that you enjoy this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know if you want to see more cooking videos. Okay, so the first thing we're making is turkey chili. This is a family favorite and we have been making this for years. All you do is brown your turkey, and I know a lot of people like to just dump things in the crock pot. This is the only recipe in this video that you need to actually cook the meat first. So you cook the meat first, and then we're going to go ahead and cut up 1 onion, and I use yellow onions because I love how sweet they are. Now that our turkey is cooked, I'm just going to go ahead and add the onion. These are the spices that I use: salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, red chili flake, and chili powder. I take the cap off of the chili powder because I use quite a bit of it, and I just don't want you to get scared about spices because everybody has their own taste. I do not measure my spices, but I like to just kind of put a ton of chili powder and a little bit of the other spices. And then you'll see later that I add brown sugar to it, and I feel like that is the secret to why everyone loves my chili. As you can see, there's a piece of bread in the brown sugar, and that just keeps it from getting rock hard. Now we're just going to add a can of mild chili beans. I love this brand of beans from Aldi. It's like it has the best flavor to it, or you could just use red kidney beans. I'm also doing a can of diced tomatoes, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix that all together. Sometimes I do add a can of crushed tomatoes as well. You can see right here I'm adding crushed tomatoes. It depends on if you like your chili to be thicker or more watery, but this is how it looks with the crushed tomatoes and the diced tomatoes. And this is the perfect consistency for our family, and I always make cornbread with it. Easy. You can find it at any grocery store. And now for our chicken and rice soup, I'm chopping up some carrots and some celery. You have to do however much carrots or celery you like, because most recipes call for like 2 carrots and 2 stalks of celery, but I love a lot of vegetables in my soup, so it's really on preference, and that's it. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut all that stuff up, and then I'm also cutting up 4 cloves of garlic, because with the chicken soup and with most soups, the garlic and the onions, those kind of things really give your soups a lot of flavor. So that's why I like to use quite a bit of garlic and onion in my soups. I'm just using 3 chicken breasts for this recipe, and then just putting all of those vegetables in as they are, all at the same time. I just wanted to show you guys how I was keeping my mess in the measuring cup and just throwing it away easily. Again, using 2 boxes of chicken broth for this, and then I'm going to add some bay leaves. That's also optional. And just gonna do the same thing and let that cook on 4 hours on high or 6 hours on low. Again, it really depends on your crock pot. Another thing is, if you want it to meal prep on Sunday, you can make this for lunches, or if you want it to meal prep and just cut the produce up to throw in your crock pot the next morning, you could do that as well. I like a little bit of a kick to my soup, so I add cayenne. I also add some thyme and some salt and pepper. Again, adjust things to your taste, and don't be afraid of spices. You really cannot go wrong. Right when that is done cooking, I'm just adding a cup of rice. You can add as much rice as you like. I only add 1 cup because I like my soup more brothy. And then I'm going to go ahead and let that cook for about like 10 more minutes. And this is a delicious, super easy homemade soup. When you stir it, the chicken will easily just shred by itself. Okay guys, so this one doesn't get much easier. Got a crock pot liner, 2 chicken breasts. I'm going to season it with a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder, salt and pepper. And then this is just a creamy basil Alfredo sauce. And my friend Brianna Kay on YouTube makes this with, she just puts this in there with the chicken, and then she puts fresh garlic. My heartburn is already on fleek this pregnancy, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of garlic powder in its place. Salt. Tanner, what are you doing in there? Oh, you got mommy's baking racks out. You got it, yeah. I got it. Mom life. Garlic. And now my Alfredo. I'm gonna put the whole, hi guys, I'm gonna put the whole thing in because I'm gonna serve it over pasta. And Brianna served hers over the, what are they called? Zoodles. So you can do that if you're being healthy. You guys, this came out amazing. I did an entire pound of pasta because I personally, I don't like leftovers, but I love cold pasta. I know that's weird, but look how good this looks. Okay, so tonight I am making a chicken enchilada soup. Super easy, super delicious. You're gonna start with your chicken breast. Mine are thin sliced just because that is all that I had on hand. But I'm sure that like chicken thighs or like actual thicker chicken breast would be better in this. So I'm just going to salt and pepper my chicken. And I'm just going to use a little bit of minced garlic. Or garlic powder. I probably just used the minced garlic sticker because that's the only one I had. A packet of taco seasoning. Just put, you want all the seasonings right on top of the chicken to get the most flavor out of it. Now I'm going to add my veggies, which are just a can of black beans that I rinsed and drained. And then also a can of corn. All I had was frozen, so I just put it in my black bean thing. Okay. And then we're going to use 1 cup of salsa. I just used the Newman's mild salsa. And then I also have 1 yellow onion. You can use whatever type of onion that you like. Yellow onions are my favorite. So I just chop this up, put this on top of the salsa. Really, you can throw this in no particular order, so that's clearly what I'm doing. And then we have 1 can of 28-ounce red enchilada sauce that I already went ahead and opened up. Just gonna pour that in. It smells so good already. I seriously cannot wait to eat this. And then you just like top it with tortillas and cheese. It's delicious. And then last but not least, we have 2 cups of chicken broth. And I'm going to, you can use vegetable as well. I'm going to do this on low for 4 hours, I'm trying to see, it's almost 1 o'clock now and Chris gets home early tonight. So I think I'm gonna do it for, I'll do it on high for 4 hours. Because he's home early tonight, so on his early nights we like to have an early dinner. So high for 4 hours. At the end, we can go ahead and mix some cornstarch in if we want to thicken it, but we'll see how it comes up. So this is how Chris is having his topped with some cheddar cheese and some little pieces of tortilla chips. You can also do tortilla strips. And I did not do the cornstarch or anything like that. This is kind of how it comes out. And you can shred the chicken more, obviously, but get started. The first thing I have is I have my Crockpot liner, and I have my chicken thighs. It's about a pound or so of chicken thighs. And I have here about 5 red potatoes. The recipe calls for 2 cups. By the way, I didn't even mention this. I'm always in a rush, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm making chicken corn chowder, and this was Ella's craving today. So I'm gonna have 2 cans of regular corn. Making a mess. And 1 can of sweet corn. So I have the chicken in there, and also with the chicken, if you're doing the chicken, I did salt and pepper my chicken. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of sugar. And then a teaspoon of Worcestershire. Just gonna mix that all up. And then I have it on high for 4 hours. And then we're just gonna cover it. So high for 4 hours, and then we're gonna come back and then we're gonna add some cream or chicken broth. We'll see what we feel like at the time being. So high for 4 hours. Super easy chicken corn chowder, I'm gonna call this. Okay, so it's been 4 hours on high, and I'm just adding a cup of half and half. You can substitute this for broth if you're trying to make it like a skinnier, healthier version. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more salt. A lot more salt. Some pepper. I don't know about you guys, but like in my chowders, I love like a lot of pepper. I'm doing some onion. I'm sure you could add fresh onion in the beginning of this recipe. I just didn't have time. And then a little bit of garlic. And then it says to go ahead and let this sit for about 15 minutes. And then after that is when I will add lots of cheese. Also optional is bacon. Sorry babe, I didn't get any bacon. So it's been a little under 15 minutes and it already looks really good. I literally just had to like go like this, and the chicken fell apart, and so did the potatoes. And the potatoes made it like nice and thick texture. And I'm also gonna go ahead and add some cheese. No measurements here. This is Mexican blend, but use whatever cheese you like. We love our cheese in this family. And then you can always use more to top your own bowl. I bet you green onions would be really good in this too, but I don't have any to top it with. Yum-o. Let's get into it. I have my chicken thighs in here, about a little less than a pound. I'm going to, of course, season them first with salt, pepper, onion and garlic, and then I'm going to throw some tomato, basil, garlic sauce on it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm really excited about this meal. It's just because I've been craving something like this. It'll probably give me even worse heartburn than I already have. The one thing that I will say is that if the boys weren't going to eat this meal, which I'm hoping they will, you never know with toddlers, but I would also add red pepper flake because Chris and I like a spicier sauce. Okay, let me add my sauce. I'm gonna do this on high for 4 hours, but before I do so, I'm going to add some of my little mozzarella balls. And I have never made this before. Ella, again, is inspiring this recipe. So Ella gave me this idea and I hope that it turns out good. I also have stuff to make some gluten-free garlic bread and a little side salad to go with it. So these are the mozzarella balls, or being politically correct, mozzarella pearls that I'm going to be adding into it right now. So this is what it looks like. We like cheese in this family, so I may wind up adding some fresh mozzarella at the end. I am going to make pasta with this as well. And for the pasta, I had a lot of questions on my last video because I didn't clarify, but I make the pasta like according to the box at the end, and then I'll just mix it all in, and then if it needs more sauce, I will add more sauce. We're about 2 hours in and I just added some more mozzarella, but it smells and looks delicious. So this is what I'm going to be using to make our gluten-free garlic bread. This is by far my favorite brand for bread so far. So for these, I just cut them this way to make it easier for the kids. Put some butter, some garlic powder, and a little bit of salt on both sides. And I'm just going to cook these on 350. And I will update you on how long these took to cook. This is the pasta that I use. This is what we usually use. So that's all cooked and I'm just going to start mixing it in. So if you want the chicken more shredded, definitely shred it before you do the pasta. This is kind of more like chunks. I do like it more shredded, so I kind of wish I would have shredded it before I added the pasta because I don't want to break up my pasta, but it'll still be good. And this is how the garlic bread came out after 25 minutes on 350. It looks perfect. I have 3 chicken breasts in my crock pot. I'm going to put in, where'd it go? This packet of fajita seasoning. So just gonna sprinkle on that fajita seasoning. This is my first time making this and it's kind of just winging it, but I can't see how it could turn out bad. I think it'll be delicious. And then I'm just going to add, I have 1 sweet yellow onion and 1 red pepper. So I'm just gonna add those right on top of the chicken. Yellow onions are my favorite. I'm not a big raw onion fan, but cooked I really enjoy yellow onion. Will I be having to take Tums? Probably, but what else is new? Yellow onion. And then our red pepper, spreading it out across the top. And then the fajita packet seasoning calls for a ½ cup of water. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put in a ½ cup of water right on top of that. Close it up and just see how this cooks. I'm doing high for 4 hours. So Chris made nachos out of his fajitas. He absolutely loved it. He said that it was mild enough, so that's why the boys ate it as well. And I would say if you want it a little bit more spicy, maybe add some jalapenos to it. Or any other kind of spices. So for this recipe, you are going to need 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, softened, so I just let it sit out at room temperature for a little bit, 1 cup of ranch dressing, 3/4 cups of red hot sauce. So first you're just going to beat your cream cheese, hot sauce, and ranch dressing together. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can do a 10-ounce can of chicken, drained, or I just do a whole rotisserie chicken, which I had my husband go ahead and pick off the chicken for me, and some shredded cheese that you decide how much you want. We love cheese, so it's probably gonna be like an overdose of cheese in this. So now you're just gonna slowly fold in the shredded chicken, and like I said, this is 1 rotisserie chicken.
Okay, so I have about 2 cups of mild cheddar. I'm just gonna put like a little less than half in, and I'm gonna save the rest for the top before we put it in the oven. And the oven is preheating to 350, and we're gonna bake it for 15 minutes. I'm just going to transfer all of this into this dish to bake it. Does it look good?
Yeah. It's good and spicy and for mommy and dad.
It's good and spicy for mommy and daddy. What, Carter doesn't want to eat any?
It's too spicy for me.
Yeah, it probably is. So now I'm just topping with my cheddar cheese. And like I said, 350 for 15 minutes. Now for our mango salsa, I could just eat this entire bowl myself. So I may change the recipe depending on how this goes with all of the produce. But I am having, this is a really large batch. I have 4 mangoes, 1 red pepper, 1 jalapeno, red onion, 3 limes, cilantro, and 4 cloves of garlic. You're also gonna need some salt and some sugar. So for my mango salsa, there's not really like anything you need to start with. I just like starting with the mangoes first to see how much fruit I actually get from them. So this is usually where I'll go ahead and try a bite just to see what exactly I think it needs. Let me get a little bit of everything in here. Personally, based on taste preference, I think it needs 1 more lime and a little bit of sugar. So let's go ahead and do that. Like I said, this is fine to do like the night before, let it soak. I actually prefer doing that, but you know, I've been in early stages of labor, so last night was a rough one and I didn't do it the night before. I'm gonna let it sit in the fridge for a little bit before we go. Also, obviously, if you have like one of those KitchenAid choppers or anything, that would make this go by much faster. I have chopped this before with, I've chopped it before with like a chopper, and there's just nothing like fresh hand diced mango salsa. Like it kind of like smushes the mangoes, and you know, you don't have the super, as you can see, I cut up my garlic and onion and jalapeno super tiny. So I just like doing it by hand. It's almost therapeutic. All right, so I got another lime in. Another thing I like to do is the last lime I'll save just to place it on top. I think it looks nice like that. So let's also add like a little bit of sugar. I'll go ahead and put this back down here. There's that. I'm gonna add like a teaspoon of sugar just because my mangoes aren't as sweet as I'd like them to be. This is seriously like the most beautiful dish ever. I just think this is my hands down favorite thing to make, to bring with me somewhere. All right, let me get another chip. That's like absolutely perfect. Not too spicy, not too garlicky, not too oniony. Definitely perfect. Look how beautiful this is, guys. Does it get prettier than that? These colors are just gorgeous. It smells amazing. Go ahead and place these on top. And then I'm gonna cover it and let it sit in the fridge for a little bit until we leave. Go ahead and make the glaze before I get them in the bath. So it's just 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of honey, and then 2 tablespoons of lemon. I would prefer fresh lemon, but I don't have any. I melted 3 tablespoons of butter, and now I'm going to go ahead and put that brown sugar, honey, lemon mixture in here and just let it all kind of stick in together. So I just sprayed some foil and put the salmon on, and now I'm going to top it with this glaze. Some salt. And then this is going to bake on 375 for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll let you know how long I do it for. You can see here I kind of just made the foil come up like this so that all the juices stay right here. So we did the Brussels sprouts on 425 for about a half an hour. And this is how it came out. You wind up cooking it for about 15 minutes because we like it a little more well done. But you can do it for less time if you like your salmon like medium or just regular.